Hola chicos, buenas tardes. Today we're going to look at the forms of the future tense. Tenemos la pregunta, ¿qué harás en el futuro? What will you do in the future? El futuro, we already know one way to talk about future events, and that is using ir plus a plus infinitivo. So, por ejemplo, yo voy a correr, o nosotros vamos a escuchar música. To use the actual future tense, las formas son facilísimos, muy fácil. For the future, you just add the new endings to the end of the infinitive form. Remember, the infinitive is the original form of the verb. We use the same endings for all verbs. So for example, we have three infinitives here, jugar, proteger, and traducir. We will use the same endings for all future tense verbs. The yo form, we add a to the end. The to form, we add as to the end. The el, ella, usted form, we add a to the end. For nosotros, we add hemos, and for ellos, ellas, ustedes, we add an. So the yo form of jugar would be jugaré. The nosotros form of proteger would be protegeremos. Now let's practice. Take a look at these verbs and put them in the correct future forms. If you need to pause the video here and look back at the last slide to help you, take all the time you need. And now we will go over the answers. La forma yo de bailar es bailaré. La forma tú de correr es correrás. La forma nosotros de vivir es viviremos. La forma ellos de ir es irán. Notice that ir for once is regular. Ser is also regular. Entonces la forma Lola de ser es será. Double check your answers. If you got any of these wrong, go back and review the last slide that shows how to form each form of the future tense. As usual, in Espanol, we have some irregulares. These irregulars use the same endings, but we don't use the exact infinitive to form the future tense. Entonces, el verbo haber changes to haber, poder, podr, querer, quer, saber, saber, poner, pondre, salir, saldr, tener, tendre, venir, vendre, and decir and hacer are the most irregular. Decir changes to dir, dir, and hacer to ar, har. If you notice those in the first column, just drop the e. In the second column, their e is replaced with a d, and the last column, we just kind of take out some letters. However, we will use the same endings for these irregular verbs, so we're still going to have the yo form a, tú, as, a, hemos, and an added to the end of these new stems. Más usos del futuro, we use the future tense obviously to talk about what we will do in the future, but we can also use it to talk about wondering or making a guess about something. So, por ejemplo, the question, ¿qué haremos en la clase de historia hoy? Could mean, what will we do in history class today, but it could also be saying, I wonder what we're doing in history class today. The statement, los chicos estudiarán para la clase de español, could mean the boys or the kids will study for Spanish class, or it could also mean they're probably studying for Spanish class, which I'm sure is what all of you are probably going to be doing for the rest of the day. Now if you could go back to your Google form, complete the Google form questions with what you've learned from the video that you just watched. If you need to go back at any time, rewatch any part of the video to look for irregulars or the forms, feel free to do that. Nos vemos en clase. Adiós.